let me put out a word of caution here, because going outside is not always good and healthy, because there are many things that are dangerous, and we should try to be safe if we're going in the woods. And so I have a few thoughts on keeping you safe if you want to explore the outdoors. And they're pretty simple, but number one is don't go further than you feel safe. I know that this might sound quite obvious, but I've had it a lot of times where, it happens mostly with young men, but also with some others, where you just try to climb a new hiking trip or a hiking trail, and you come to an area where it gets so steep that you don't feel safe anymore, or that you should have brought different equipment to actually stay safe and on this trail, where you should be in climbing gear, and you should turn around then and walk back. I know that this might not be the most fun, but it is definitely keeping you safe and is good. So I need to be careful here because I saw some wild boars running through here a minute ago. So that's pretty helpful. The other thing is, don't go in the forest if there's too much storm or too much storm announced. I know that there are YouTubers that tell you otherwise and do otherwise, that want the new challenge of going outside and it's like an overnighter in the forest in a thunderstorm. Don't do it. Just don't. It's not safe. It's not something you need to do. It's, if at all, a poor situation where you shouldn't be. It's being in the wrong place at the wrong time. So it's not a good competition to be like, oh yeah, let's just try to get the biggest experience ever. That's not how you have a good time outside. And it's also, the other part is, don't do something because someone else said that this should be fun, that this should be good, because that's also not helpful. Because there are a lot of YouTubers that go on big hikes, that go on big trips, but most of them, at least many of them hopefully, have enough experience to do it, have enough practice to do it. They're not just out there because they decide one day, oh yeah, let's go on a 100-kilometer hike. Most of them practice, and that's something that you probably don't see on camera, but they prepare for the trips. They make sure they have all the equipment they need, and they get ready. And this is something that you should consider too. If you want to go on bigger hikes, start little and work your way up. So that's another part. Also with equipment, and that's one tip that I can't repeat often enough, it's test your equipment before you go on big trips. You don't want to end up with a tent that's not waterproof. That's just the awful night. You don't want to end up with a dull knife or with an axe where the axe breaks. You just don't want to do that. It's also not necessary. You can just prevent that by testing it. So that's not that much of a challenge. So yeah, stay safe out there, have a good time, explore the wilderness, and we'll see you next time.